Sam's Racehorse by Marriott, Edgar. When Sam Small retired from army, he'd a pension of 9p a day and £7 14 and twopence, which he'd saved from his rations and pay. He knew this he weren't a fortune, but reckoned with prudence and care he'd find some investment to save him from hard work and things like that there. He thought he'd invest in a racehorse, as apart from excitement and fun, he'd be able to sit down in comfort and live off the money he won. Sam knew buying horses was tricky, but that didn't downheart him at all. He said they must rise early in morning who wants to play tricks on Sam Small. When he called on the local horse dealer, surprise rooted him to the spot, for it was his old company sergeant, whose kindness he'd never forgot. It was happy reunion on both sides. Their pleasure at meeting was great, for both hoped to diddle the other and swipe a few grudges off his plate. Now the sergeant brought out his horses and offered them 4 various sums. They hadn't a tooth left between them, but Sam knew their age by their gums. He studied their lines and deportment as sergeant was trotting them round, and he told him he reckoned their value was 4p per racehorse per pound. Now the sergeant had a filly called Buster, as he hadn't said nothing about, and when Sam turned his nose up at others, he thought that he'd best trot her out. Sam was struck with her youthful appearance, though there wasn't much like it in the place. Her teeth were all pearly and even, and he had a line on his face. The sergeant asked Sam 20 guineas, but Sam was up to his tricks, but pretended he thought he said shillings and offered him 18 and 6. At finish he paid 8 guineas for her. When he got home with the goods, he reckoned he'd done none too badly, for 3 of those guineas was duds. But later, when he thought it over, a doubt in his mind seemed to creep. If Buster were all she were painted, why the sergeant had sold her so cheap. He very soon found out the answer when he looked at her close in the stalls, for she'd the marks where her face had been lifted, and a mouthful of false teeth and all. The little walk home had fatigued her. The cold air had started her cough. He thought he'd best see the sergeant and tell him the bargain were off. The place was locked up when he got there. He realised the sergeant had bunked, so back he came home in a dudgeon to find Buster lying defunct. He knew if he wanted to sell her, he mustn't let on she were dead. So he raffled her down at the darts club, 40 members at 5 bob a head. The raffle were really successful. They all came in, every man jack, and so winner has no cause to grumble. He gave him his 5 shillings back.